You know, we used to live in a world where you couldn't just go to a movie theater if you wanted to watch an adult film and watch with a bunch of other people. You also used to be able to go to work drunk. Maybe you still can. I would never. However, a Texas politician went viral for this moment. May I introduce to you Texas House Speaker Dade Phelan.
Mr. Campbell sent an amendment. The amendment is acceptable to the author. Is there objection to the opposite amendment? And the chair has none. The amendment is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Johnson of Harris. Mr. Johnson of Harris to speak in opposition to the bill.
You got those words.
You want Niave? Chair recognizes Ms. Niave Criado to speak.
The chair recognizes Ms. Niave Criado to speak in opposition to the bill.
You can tell he thought he nailed it.
Thank you, Ms.
That was him holding the microphone. It sounds like it would be everybody there. If you're there, you're a Texas politician. You've worked your whole life to become a member of like the Texas legislature, and all of a sudden there's just a drunk guy who's clearly either having a stroke, best case scenario. It's a rare situation where you wish the guy was having a stroke, right? You wish he was having a stroke there.
No, that's not the...
Yes, you do, Sean.
That's never the best case scenario.
If we want to have faith in our institutions, you wish that guy was having a stroke. But clearly something's up. Maybe it was alcohol. Maybe it's something else. Maybe, again, it's a stroke. You hope it was a stroke. But there used to be a day, Sean, where we could all show up to work and be absolutely plastered. Those were the days. The 60s, the 70s. Have you seen the television show Mad Men? Don Draper's best pitch came when he was absolutely bleep canned. It was for Life cereal. People forget this is how Life cereal blew up. Don Draper was drunk in a board meeting in Manhattan.
I got it, Pete. How about life is just a bowl of Life cereal? Life is sweet. Enjoy the rest of your life. Cereal.
Don, they're not expecting you to do this right now.
Give me a second.
Yeah, Pete.
Life. The reason to get out of bed in the morning. Life. The cure for the common breakfast. Life. Its sweetness never ends. Life. Eat it by the bowlful.
Oh, there you go. Cure for the common breakfast.
Which is a terrible saying. But hey, that's how it came to be. There was a time where you could show up drunk and everyone's going after my man Dade. It's not his fault that he had to go to Congress. He's allowed to have a life too. He's not all-time Texas legislator. He's not that always. He's allowed to party. He's allowed to go out and have some fun. Maybe have a couple of margaritas at El Tiempo and wake up on his couch at 3:30 in the morning with massive back pain. He's allowed to do it. And I feel like we got to remember that some athletes are incredible when they're hammered, and give them their respect and give them their due. Yeah, athleticism, being a professional athlete takes a lot. You know what takes even more? To be a drunk professional athlete and still be good. And look, I don't know if you guys remember what Bud Light used to be. There once was a time where Bud Light was cool. There was. It was a great time. It was when they were doing this commercial series. And I thought this edition, a Houston-specific edition of Bud Light's Real Men of Genius, would be a good way to kick us off as we take a look back at some of the great drunken moments in Houston sports history. And all sports history.
Take it away.
We'll do traffic. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute Houston, big city in the really, really big state.
Big city in a really, really big state.
Where people love to sit in their cars, especially on 290, I-45, I-10 Katy, or anywhere else you can sit in your car.
Real city traffic.
It's a good thing Houston is a great place to be, because according to travel times, you ain't going anywhere anyway.
Getting great mileage.
There are over 2 million cars in the city, and at any given time, all of them are on Westheimer.
Who are all these people?
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light for the city of the arts, like the famous traffic in still life.
I'm trying to drive friendly.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, Houston, Texas.
It was incredible. So that's from Fox 26, I guess about 16 years ago. I missed that advertising campaign. I don't know. Maybe Bud Light should bring that back if they want to get back in the cool points game. But I thought to myself, after seeing Dade Phelan on the Texas state legislature or whatever the hell, doesn't matter. You just heard the guy absolutely hammered. Someone's trying to, I don't care. This person doesn't actually matter until now, because now he's proven that he can be drunk and be a politician at the same time. Honestly, wouldn't you rather know your politicians are just hammered all the time as opposed to, doing insider trading and all the other things that they definitely do? So I thought instead of, becoming a political talk show here, we would remember some of the great moments in drunken athlete history with a little Real Men of Genius music in the background. Let's salute Charles Barkley, a person we talked about on the air not too long ago. In 1992, thinking he was about to be traded from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Lakers, he went to a TGI Fridays, got hammed, only to find out he had to play in the game. We don't know what the game was, and I think that adds to the mystery. Charles Barkley doesn't even remember it. We salute Hall of Fame Green Bay Packer guard Fred Fuzzy Thurston. I want to know why his nickname is Fuzzy. Before the Ice Bowl, where temperature at kickoff in Green Bay, Wisconsin was minus 15 degrees with a wind chill factor of minus 35. Fuzzy downed 10 shots of vodka in an effort to literally warm up. Thurston played well. The Packers won the game and won their second straight Super Bowl weeks later. Does that work? Does drinking a ton of shots, does that make you warmer? Does it actually make you physically warmer? I don't believe that.
I think it like feels like it, but I don't think it actually. I think science disagrees.
Oh, science! Look it up.
Also, I think I know why his name's Fuzzy.
Because he was constantly
Yeah,
drunk.
His last name's Thurston too. It's really thirsty.
John Daly credited being drunk for playing better in 2011. Wade Boggs denies the number, but legend holds that the former Red Sox star drank 64 beers over the course of a cross-country flight from New York to the West Coast. There's an Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode about them all trying to do the same thing.
May he rest in peace.
All right, but is he dead?
That's the joke in Always Sunny.
Oh, my bad. Damn, that went over my head. Sorry, Sean.
Expect that from the text line.
Sean's taking shots. How about this ref show? Czech referee Thomas Fedra, who showed up to a match between Czech clubs Jastrzębie Lhota and Tinek Nad Labem, smelling like a brewery. The visibly intoxicated official told several players he had just celebrated a birthday and red carded 3 of them for asking if he was still capable of refereeing the match. That is next level. That's some real Eastern European stuff. We would not have seen Allen Iverson's rant about practice if not for Gary Payton, who says that he and Iverson were knocking back drinks one summer night when Payton told Iverson the key to career longevity was that the coach didn't let him practice. Iverson literally the next day went on that rant. Hangovers. We also got to remember the great hangover performances in sports history. At some point in the early 2000s, basketball player Ricky Davis went out for a night on the town. He and his entourage gulped down 19 bottles of Patron. They also attempted to set the Elvis Memorial on fire. The next night, Davis went out and put up a triple-double. Legend. And some people are suggesting LSD and cocaine, Lawrence Taylor. No, we're only talking about alcohol here because that's legal. David Wells threw a perfect game with the hangover in 1999. Max McGee, Super Bowl I hero. He'd only caught 4 passes during the regular season. He assumed he wasn't going to play in the game. He disobeyed curfew, hung out with 2 flight attendants until he came back to his hotel at 6:30. He ran into Bart Starr, quarterback, who said, "Oh, God," then told Packer wideout Boyd Dowler, who was starting over McGee, "Don't get hurt because Max McGee is absolutely train wrecked." Dowler got hurt in the first quarter. McGee goes into the game wearing another teammate's helmet because he forgot his own, caught 7 passes for 138 yards and the first touchdown in Super Bowl history, a 37-yard touchdown grab, which he caught with one hand while bending sideways and bending completely because he was hungover. The great moments in drunk history. And, you know, a lot of people coming after my guy, Dave Phelan, for being drunk on the Texas House floor. And I will tell them that back in the day, when men were men were playing drunk all the time. You know, the new generation versus old generation argument that we hear about all the time. A lot of people today say, "Oh, well, players were playing in a segregated league. Oh, well, they were playing against janitors and plumbers." Well, players from today would never play a game drunk because they're soft. They're cowards. Back in the 60s and 70s, you would be ripping a heater on the sideline, maybe polishing a glass of Miller Lite before you went back into the game. If not just straight scotch or bourbon. That was when men were men. So whenever somebody brings up that, like, the old generation couldn't do this, couldn't do that, they could play drunk, and you softies could not.
So they were playing against drunk mailmen and drunk plumbers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
While they were also drunk.
Right. Don't submarine the argument.
No, I'm just saying.
Back in the day, when men were men,